it's run its course. It's done. So we have to create something else. And we have to, because if we don't, the powers that be will create it for us. And I guarantee you, you will not be free. You won't be free. You won't like it at all. You won't. It's a given, absolute given. Because it's all about them. It's not about you. And as Spock once said, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Next question.
Alex, my name is David Farman. I represent Alienshift, alienshift.com. The page we made for you is between 250 pages, is one of the most visited. Alienshift is about new hope for humanity, and you are one of the, we could call you the new hope for humanity. I want to thank you for all the stuff you've done. Basically, my question is, I'm sorry, you want to say something?
It's not about me. It's not about
me. It's all about us. And the question I have is about us, the public. Every ufologist, past 30 years I've been watching, they write books and videos and they go home. There is no unity, there is no group that can... how can we create such a 40-man international group that would have a leader like you, for instance, or whoever else want to take the position, and we have our voice with ET and with the people of the earth. You guys are all waiting for governments. Don't do that. Don't do that. We are the governments between humanity and the ET. Do not wait for any governments to help you guys.
Hi, thanks for coming today. We all appreciate that. I guess a question I have is can you hear me? Can you hear me here? Can I be heard? I kind of have a profound question, or it's somewhat profound, I guess, which is to say that on the one hand, I think that we all want to access knowledge and we want to know what's going on, and that is empowering. On the other hand, it is also true that the more we know, to a certain extent, the more of a target we become. I think that that is just because of the fact, especially the way that we've had a lot of laws that have been passed throughout the world to monitor what people are doing, and I think we all have to be cognizant of that. And I'm asking, what do you think? How can we access? We know that there's powers that are off planet. We know that the matrix itself, or the higher self, is one of purity and strength. How do we access that in the face of the fact that we do put ourselves in, I don't know if it's at risk, but that we put ourselves in somewhat of a precarious position, and that we're facing a very, very organized and very strong union across the planet, and how do we get there? How do we empower ourselves? That's what I guess I want to ask.
Okay. Let's deal with the first thing you said. I want you to do me a favor, just for a moment. I want you to get down on your knees. No, give him the mic. Just get down on your knees.
Okay.
Okay, I want you to get down on your knees. Yeah, just like that. Look at me. I want you to look at me.
Not what I was expecting, but
do you want to live the rest of your life like that?
No, not particularly. No.
Okay, then stand up. Then stand up. Dude, your eternal soul, all I can do is take this away from you, and you still live. Okay? It's not who we are, it's what we are. As far as forming an organization, it needs to be grassroots, because everything else that becomes a foundation or a corporation, they take over. If it's a grassroots, and everybody in this audience and every citizen around the world, if we start watching each other's back, there isn't jack that they can do to us. There just isn't.
Okay, that was dramatic. Here we go. Thanks.
I got up because I wanted to assert that we are the ground crew. Sorry. I wanted to assert that we are the ground crew, and that we are being mentored, and find out if you disagree with that this is the choir, and that we are being mentored already, whether we've been tapped on the shoulder by someone from another part of the galaxy or not. And that we should stop denying that we are already being mentored and we already are getting the message of what it is that we need to do.
Well, I think George said it best yesterday, Mr. Green. We are extraterrestrials. You know, we're just trying to reconnect to kin, basically. You know, so yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I don't have any problem with that. The reason for my purpose for reiterating it is knowing that these things go wherever they go, and that there are so many people now coming into this, discovering it for the first time, or at least asking questions, and it's important to bring them on board as quickly as possible. To just have them to plant the seed, hey, on some level you are already being mentored spiritually, and we just need to bring the physicality and connect that to the spiritual essence of ourselves.
Thank you.
That was my purpose.
Great.
I was just wondering about the nature of the incoming object. You said
What was the question?
Sorry, I'm a little nervous here.
Nobody will bite you.
Yeah, you mentioned an incoming object, like 22 degrees to Uranus or something.
18 degrees right ascension of Neptune's orbit.
What's
All I know is that it's a planetary structure, and it's friendly.
It's not.
But I don't know anything more else about it at the moment. But I know it's friendly.
That works.
Okay, it's not Nibiru.
I have a question, but as I was standing there, I had a realization. You were talking about the holographic kind of system that they've put in place, and that you said that we need to implement that holographic system. And when you said we need to become grassroots, everything has to become grassroots, I got it on an extreme level, that by continuing to share passionately with absolutely everyone that we are creating the holographic system that they can't destroy.
That's right. It's impossible.
So, I really got it. Thank you.
You're
but
very welcome.
My question is, you were mentioning that the Andromeda have the DNA to be able to remember past lives, and that our DNA is damaged, so we cannot. Do you know of ways in which we can heal our DNA, and would accessing the blueprint of perfect health and healing in our higher self be part of that?
It's a great question. I don't have the answer to that.
Thank you.
And I had to put my glasses on to see who I was talking to.
Okay. Okay, my take on the grassroots thing, and tell me if I'm right, is that even if we're not out talking, if you're doing your spiritual work and in your mind you have a desire for a world that's peaceful and pure and good without the hatefulness and the fear, and you're creating that's the grassroots thing, that there doesn't have to be an organization.
That's exactly right.
Thank you.
You got it. Now, I wanted to bring up something. I've been blessed to have an opportunity to spend some time in Europe, and I was in Switzerland, and we had just come out of a pub, and there were some young men being arrested for some reason, and I will never forget this. As we're standing there watching this happen, one of the young men said to the Swiss police, "You didn't read me my rights." And the cop stopped and goes, "What rights?" He goes, "I got rights. You got to read me the Miranda Act." And this is a Swiss student, okay? A Swiss being, and he goes, "This is Switzerland. You don't have any rights here." Okay? But this young man believed so much in that he was willing to challenge the police officer about it. Okay? And it was a big surprise for him. So you see, the influence that the United States has had on the world is so more profound than any of us realize. And the disappointment is probably equal to that at this point. Okay? Because here we have, the propaganda has been communism, fascism, We have sent young men to war, lost their lives to fight communism and fascism, and in 60 years we become fascist? What's wrong with this picture? Okay? Sir, 2 more questions and then I'm done.
I wanted to preface this question with just saying again, as I spoke with you in private, it's an honor and a privilege to have you here with us, and thank you for speaking of what you know.